Eli stepped off the shuttle and looked around the Galactic Academy. The station floated silently above a green-blue planet, massive and glowing under the sunlight. The Academy was huge, with towers, domes, and long corridors that seemed to stretch forever. He had heard stories about it. Cadets from all over the galaxy trained here. Humans were rare. Most aliens were bigger, stronger, and faster. But Eli felt a spark of excitement. He wanted to prove himself. The moment he entered the main hall, he noticed the aliens staring at him. Some had 3 eyes, some had scales, and a few had long tentacles instead of arms. They whispered and nudged each other. Eli's small human body looked fragile next to them, but his eyes were sharp, and he walked with confidence. "Welcome, cadets," a deep voice boomed. Eli turned to see Commander Trawler, the head instructor. He was a tall, silver-skinned alien with eyes that glowed faintly blue. "Today, you begin your first classroom challenge. You will test your intelligence, your courage, and your ability to survive under pressure." Eli's heart raced. He had trained on Earth for years, but he knew nothing could prepare him for real alien competition. Commander Trawler continued, "You will be split into teams. Each team will receive resources. You must complete the challenge in the given time. Remember, the galaxy rewards the clever, not always the strong." Eli was placed in a team with 2 other cadets, a small, quick alien named Firo from the planet Zeltar, and a calm, 4-armed alien named Kree from Targos. The other team had larger, arrogant cadets. Eli noticed them at once. They whispered to each other and smirked whenever they looked at him. As the teams gathered, instructors handed out containers of water. Eli's team looked at it. It was clear, with a faint shimmer. Eli's instincts told him to be careful. He remembered reading about alien poisons. Some aliens had a habit of using clever tricks to win, even in a classroom challenge. Eli's suspicion was correct. One of the alien cadets from the opposing team, a tall, green-scaled creature named Brock, whispered to his friends. They were plotting something. Eli could not hear all their words, but the way they stared at him and the water made him uneasy. The instructors explained, "Part of the challenge is loyalty. Each cadet will drink water in front of their team. This tests courage and trust. Teams that refuse or falter may lose points." Eli's stomach tightened. He could see the smirk on Brock's face. He guessed their plan. The water might be poisoned. Humans were rare here, and aliens had many toxins unknown to human biology. He had to think fast. While the instructor was busy explaining the rules, Eli quickly mixed a small neutralizing agent he had prepared earlier. He had read about alien toxins and created a simple antidote from natural station plants. No alien would notice. It was small and invisible. When the time came, the instructor held up a container and said, "Drink." The alien cadets on Brock's team looked at each other and then at Eli. They were confident. They had set a trap. Many cadets expected the human to hesitate or refuse, but Eli didn't. He took the water calmly, his hand steady, and drank it in one smooth motion. A silence fell over the room. Brock's eyes widened. Something unexpected was happening. Eli showed no sign of weakness. He smiled lightly, pretending nothing unusual had occurred. "Interesting," murmured Commander Trawler. He seemed amused but also curious. "Very well. Continue the challenge." The aliens on Brock's team whispered frantically. Something was wrong. Their expressions changed from smug confidence to confusion. One by one, they froze. Their bodies stiffened. Their eyes wide in shock. They could not move. They could not speak. The humans and other cadets watched in disbelief. Eli's team stayed calm. Firo looked amazed, and Kree's forearms twitched nervously. "How?" Firo whispered. Eli shook his head slightly. "I prepared," he said simply. They didn't expect a human to be ready. The instructors stepped closer. Commander Trailer studied the frozen aliens carefully. The human cadet drank the water and survived unharmed. This shows intelligence and preparation. Humans may be rare, but they are clever. Eli's heart pounded, but he kept his calm face. He knew the challenge was not over. It was only the first test. The other cadets were still frozen. The challenge required teamwork, strategy, and quick thinking. Eli now had an advantage, but he had to use it wisely. "Come on," Eli whispered to his team. "We need to move fast before the instructors adjust the rules." Firo nodded, his small body agile. Cree, the four-armed cadet, moved carefully but quickly. They approached the obstacle course, laid out for the challenge. It had walls, ladders, and strange alien devices they had to operate. Eli noticed that the frozen aliens blocked some paths, giving his team a clearer way forward. As they moved, Eli observed everything. The academy was not just a school, it was a test of survival. Cadets who relied only on strength often failed. Those who used brains, observation, and courage had a chance to win. Humans, he realized, could shine here if they trusted their instincts. He also noticed something else. The other cadets were staring. Not in fear, but in awe. They had never seen a human react so boldly. In a place where aliens assumed humans were weak, Eli's calm courage made him stand out. The first part of the challenge was about to end, but Eli already felt a shift. Something had changed. Humans, once underestimated, were now being watched carefully. Brack and his friends, still frozen, were a clear sign that cleverness could defeat arrogance. Eli took a deep breath. This was only the beginning. The Galactic Academy would test him further, but he was ready. The challenge was more than just drinking water. It was a lesson. Humans could survive, and even outsmart the galaxy's most cunning species. Eli's heart was steady, but inside, he felt a rush of adrenaline. The alien cadets who had poisoned the water were frozen, their faces frozen in shock. The classroom was quiet. Only the sound of breathing and faint whispers from curious cadets filled the space. Humans were rare here, and none had ever shown such courage. Firo, Eli's small alien teammate, stared wide-eyed. I've never seen anything like this," he whispered. His tiny tentacle trembled. Cree, the four-armed Targos cadet, nodded. "Your plan worked perfectly," he said. "But we must move fast. The instructors might adjust the rules at any moment." Eli smiled slightly. "I was ready. They weren't expecting it. Now we have a chance to win, but we have to stay smart." The instructors watched closely. Commander Trailer's glowing blue eyes studied Eli carefully. "Remarkable," he murmured. "A human cadet surviving a poison test. Intelligence and courage qualities many aliens underestimate." The frozen cadets, Brock and his team, were still unable to move. Their expressions of arrogance had vanished. Now they looked powerless, vulnerable, and confused. Other cadets whispered, staring at Eli with a mixture of surprise and respect. Eli led his team toward the next part of the challenge. It was a complex obstacle course designed to test logic, speed, and teamwork. Walls of shifting panels, ladders with moving steps, and alien devices that required precise manipulation awaited them. Firo's small body allowed him to slip through narrow gaps quickly. Cree used his four arms to handle multiple devices at once. Eli, though smaller than most aliens, moved with sharp focus, noticing every detail. He anticipated traps, predicted movements, and guided his teammates carefully. As they moved through the course, the instructors occasionally checked on them. Commander Trailer's expression was unreadable, but Eli sensed approval. This challenge was about more than strength, it was about brains, courage, and quick thinking. Humans, though smaller, could shine in ways aliens rarely expected. Suddenly, one of the alien devices emitted a warning sound. A panel shifted, blocking part of the path. Firo looked unsure. "What do we do?" he asked. Eli studied the panel quickly. "We need to trigger the release mechanism on the other side. Kree, can you reach it?" Kree stretched his long arms and pressed the controls carefully. The panel slid open, revealing a path forward. Eli's heart beat faster. Every second counted, and every move required focus. Meanwhile, the frozen aliens were still immobile. Brack's eyes blinked in disbelief. He had never expected a human to survive their trap. Their smug confidence had turned into confusion. And slowly, they began to realize that underestimating humans could be a fatal mistake. The classroom was filled with tension. Other cadets watched Eli's team with curiosity and admiration. Humans were small, yes, but clever, brave, and quick to adapt. Eli's calm approach contrasted sharply with the frantic aliens around him. As they reached the next section, a puzzle device awaited. It required coordination. 3 cadets had to touch symbols in a specific order, or a trap would activate. Eli studied the symbols carefully. He remembered seeing similar patterns in the Academy's records. "Firo, touch the red symbol first," Eli instructed. "Kree, then the green. I will finish with the blue." They followed his instructions. A soft click sounded. The trap was avoided. The path forward opened. Eli's team moved quickly. The Telliger, the Telliger, Commander Trawler observed silently. "Human intuition. Remarkable," he muttered. "They think fast, act fast, and never panic." The frozen aliens were finally released when the instructors adjusted the challenge rules, but they were slow to react. Brack's team stumbled, embarrassed and humiliated. Their arrogance had been replaced by cautious glances. They realized humans were not just weaker beings, they could outthink them at every step. Eli's team now had a clear advantage. The obstacles were not only physical but also mental. Each puzzle, trap, and challenge demanded careful thought. Eli used his human advantage: observation, adaptability, and calm under pressure. They reached the final section, a simulated combat arena. Robots activated, moving with surprising speed and intelligence. The other teams hesitated, unsure how to respond. Eli smiled slightly. Humans had learned teamwork, strategy, and patience. He directed Firo and Kree to move in patterns, avoiding robot attacks and using speed to reach the exit. One robot lunged toward Eli. He ducked quickly, rolling to the side and pressing a control that deactivated it. Firo jumped over another robot, landing safely. Kree used his 4 arms to pull levers, redirecting 2 more machines. Within moments, they reached the arena's center. The instructors watched closely. Commander Trawler's eyes glowed brighter. "Excellent," he said. "The human team demonstrates not only survival skills but also leadership and strategy. Strength is valuable, yes, but intelligence is priceless." The other cadets, including Brack and his team, stared. Respect replaced their earlier arrogance. Eli's calm, careful actions had turned the classroom upside down. Humans, once underestimated, now stood as equals, or perhaps even superior in cleverness. Eli looked around briefly. He felt proud but stayed focused. The challenge was not over until the instructors declared it so. Every step, every decision mattered. Finally, the signal sounded. The challenge ended. Eli's team had completed every obstacle and puzzle correctly and efficiently. Brock's team had struggled and lost valuable time. The frozen cadets' arrogance had cost them dearly. Commander Traylor stepped forward. "This classroom challenge is complete," he announced. "The winning team shows intelligence, courage, and adaptability. Humans, though small and rare, can outthink the galaxy's most cunning cadets. A lesson for all. Eli felt a quiet satisfaction. He had survived the poisoned water, guided his team, and proved that humans were more than their size. They were clever, brave, and capable of shining in the galaxy's toughest environments. Firo smiled. "You were amazing, Eli," he said. Kree nodded. "Indeed. I will follow your lead any time." Eli looked at the stars outside the academy windows. He thought about the future. Humans might be few, but they could survive, and even thrive, where others underestimated them. Courage, intelligence, and preparation were his greatest weapons, and he had used them well. The classroom buzzed with new respect for the human cadet. Eli had not only completed the challenge, he had changed the way aliens viewed humanity forever. The Galactic Academy's classroom was buzzing with whispers and quiet awe. Eli's team had completed the challenge perfectly, outsmarting every obstacle, every trap, and every puzzle. Even the instructors seemed impressed. Commander Tralor, the silver-skinned alien with glowing blue eyes, stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. "Cadets," he began, "this challenge was meant to test courage, intelligence, and teamwork. Today, one team has shown all three in extraordinary ways. A human team has proven that size and strength are not the only measures of skill. Adaptability, observation, and calm thinking are equally powerful." The other cadets, aliens from countless worlds, watched silently. Brack and his team, still embarrassed from their frozen moment during the poisoned water test, avoided eye contact. They had underestimated humans, and it had cost them dearly. Eli stood tall, though he was small compared to the others. He had trained hard, studied alien biology, and prepared for the worst. His calm face hid the racing thoughts inside, but he felt a quiet pride. He had not only survived but also led his team to victory. Firo, the small alien teammate, clapped his tiny hands. "Eli, you were incredible. I never imagined a human could be so brave and clever." Kree, the four-armed cadet, nodded solemnly. "Indeed. You were calm under pressure and thought faster than anyone else. We would not have completed this without your guidance." Eli smiled slightly. "We did it together. That's the real strength of a team." Commander Tralor raised his hand. "Cadets, take note. Humans may appear fragile, but they possess a rare combination of courage, intelligence, and ingenuity. This is a lesson for all of you. Never underestimate someone based on their size or species." Quote, Brock's team shuffled forward slowly, still humiliated. Brock, the green-scaled cadet who had poisoned the water, lowered his head. His pride had been shattered, replaced by respect. You were lucky," Brock said, his voice small. "No human has ever survived a test like that before." "RO." Eli shook his head. "It wasn't luck. It was preparation and thinking ahead. You made a mistake by underestimating me." The other cadets nodded, murmuring in agreement. The frozen water trick had been clever, but it was Eli's observation, calm thinking, and leadership that had won the day. The instructors led the cadets to the next hall. It was quieter now, the air filled with a new sense of respect. Commander Tralor spoke privately to Eli. "You have proven something important today. Humans are rare in this academy, but they can survive and even excel where others fail. Your courage and intelligence are exceptional." Eli felt a small smile. "Thank you, sir. I only did what I had to." But inside, he knew this was more than just survival. He had changed the way others saw humans. They no longer saw weakness. They saw potential, strategy, and courage. Later, as cadets returned to their living quarters, Brock approached Eli. His posture was stiff but sincere. I apologize for underestimating you. Humans are clever and brave. I will remember this lesson. Eli nodded. It's okay. Just don't underestimate anyone in the future. That's the safest way to survive here. Firo and Cree laughed softly. You made history today, Firo said. Everyone will talk about this challenge for years. Cree added, Indeed. Your calmness and planning are a reminder that brains can beat brawn. You've proven that humans can shine even among the galaxy's strongest cadets. That night, Eli looked out of his dorm window. The stars stretched endlessly across the dark sky. He thought about the academy, the alien cadets, and the challenge. Humans might be few in number across the galaxy, but they could adapt, survive, and even outthink species far stronger than themselves. Eli felt a warm sense of pride. He had faced danger, survived a poisoned trap, and led his team to victory. He had done what few humans could, earned respect in a place that doubted him. The next day, the academy buzzed with Eli's accomplishment. Cadets from other teams approached, curious and respectful. Some asked how he had survived the poisoned water. Others asked for advice on strategy and problem-solving. Eli shared what he could, always emphasizing teamwork, observation, and careful preparation. Commander Traller addressed the academy once more. Let this day be remembered. One human cadet has shown that courage, intelligence, and careful planning can overcome the galaxy's greatest challenges. Remember this. Never judge by size or species. True strength is in the mind and spirit. Eli felt a quiet thrill. He had not just won a challenge, he had changed perspectives, teaching aliens that humans were clever and brave. The lesson was clear. Underestimating humans could be a fatal mistake. Brack and his team approached Eli again, this time with more humility. We respect your skills, Brack admitted. We will try to learn from humans, not underestimate them again. Eli smiled. Good. That's all anyone can ask. Respect and preparation are more important than arrogance. As the day ended, Eli and his team rested, tired but satisfied. They had completed the challenge, proven themselves, and earned respect. In a place full of alien cadets, humans had made a mark. Eli looked around at his team. We did it. And this is only the beginning. The academy will continue to test us. But now, they know humans are not weak. We can survive, adapt, and even shine. Firo nodded enthusiastically. I will never forget today. You've shown what humans can do. Cree, calm and thoughtful, added, Indeed. Today, humans proved that cleverness and courage are just as important as strength. Eli smiled one last time before looking out at the galaxy. Humans might be small, rare, and underestimated. But with courage, intelligence, and preparation, they could stand among the strongest beings in the galaxy. This challenge was over. But Eli knew the real journey was only beginning. The universe was vast, full of danger and opportunity. And humans, with their sharp minds and brave hearts, could face it all. For the first time, Eli felt a true sense of pride. Humans were not just survivors, they were thinkers, planners, and warriors in their own right. And this was just the start of their journey in the Galactic Academy.